Before humanity raises its voice against God, before it demands explanations from the creator of time, space, atoms, and consciousness, it should first remember what it truly is. A creature that begins its existence as a drop of fluid so small, so insignificant, that no one celebrates its arrival, no one announces its presence, no one even sees it. Out of this drop, blind and powerless, God shapes a being that will later dare to debate the infinite, challenge the transcendent, question the one who brought it out of nothingness. It is astonishing that a creature that does not even control its heartbeat, cannot prevent its hair from turning grey, cannot guarantee the next breath it takes, now finds the courage to say, if God existed, he would show himself to me on my terms. There is a verse in the Quran that captures this entire tragedy in one sentence. We created man from a mere drop of sperm, and behold, he becomes openly argumentative. The verse does not attack human intelligence. It reveals human arrogance, the same arrogance that appears when certain scientists, brilliant in their field yet blind in their soul, step forward and attempt to reinterpret the universe as if they themselves were its architects. They observe a handful of mysteries, a few cosmic puzzles, and suddenly imagine that they stand in a position to negotiate with God. They confuse knowledge with omniscience and discovery with creation. Neil deGrasse Tyson, like many modern thinkers, does not say, I know God does not exist. Instead, he takes a more subtle approach. He hides his denial behind the word agnostic. He says he is open to evidence of a creator, but then constructs a definition of evidence that no worldview, scientific, historical, or metaphysical, could ever satisfy. He demands a miracle that fits into a laboratory protocol, a divine signature that obeys human measurement, a supernatural phenomenon that repeats itself like a chemical reaction. But such a demand only shows that he has misunderstood the nature of God. The Creator is not a circus performer who repeats tricks on command. He is the author of existence itself, the one who brought both the laws of physics and the mind that studies them into being. Tyson claims the universe is too old for humanity to matter. He asks, if the universe was designed for us, why did we appear so late? Yet this question reveals more about human impatience than about divine design. The universe is not a kitchen timer set for our convenience. God does not operate inside time. Time itself is his creation. When a being timeless and eternal creates a universe with stages, ages, cycles, and epochs, that unfolding is not a sign of inefficiency. It is a sign of wisdom. Even in our small world, a tree takes decades to reach maturity. A child takes years before forming a coherent thought. Civilizations take centuries to rise. So why should the cosmos, vast, majestic, governed by laws so delicate that a slight imbalance would collapse everything, not follow a timeline far beyond our comprehension? Humanity's appearance at the end of cosmic history is not a flaw in divine planning. It is the culmination of it. Everything before us, the stars, the galaxies, the dust clouds, the supernovas, served as the forge in which the elements of life were synthesized. If we had appeared earlier, we would not have existed at all. Tyson asks why humans arrived late, but he ignores the deeper truth. We arrived not late, but precisely when the conditions allowed it. Just like a fruit grows only when the season is right, humanity appeared when the cosmic garden was ready to host it. Then Tyson brings the fine-tuning argument and tries to turn it on its head. He does not deny that the constants of the universe are astonishingly precise. He merely suggests that their precision is not proof of intention. But intention is not measured by timing. Intention is measured by structure. The gravitational constant, the electromagnetic balance, the nuclear forces, all sit at a razor's edge. If any of them had been slightly different, not only would human beings not exist, but atoms, chemistry, stars, and even space-time itself would collapse into chaos. To observe this astonishing balance and conclude that it is just one possibility among many is not scientific humility. It is philosophical blindness masquerading as science. Order is not born from chaos. Precision is not born from randomness. Tyson sees the clockwork but denies the clockmaker. Then he uses the classic God of the gaps argument, claiming that religion fills the unknown with divine explanations that shrink as science progresses. But this argument collapses under its own weight. Explaining how something works does not eliminate the need for a creator. We can describe the mechanism of fire, yet no one claims fire caused its own existence. We can explain the orbit of planets, yet no one imagines gravity created itself out of nothing. The existence of laws does not negate the lawgiver, it confirms him. Every new scientific discovery is not a defeat for God, it is a glimpse of his craftsmanship. History shows that science does not eliminate God, it eliminates superstition. When people once believed that epilepsy was possession, science corrected their misunderstanding, but the cure did not reveal itself. The neurons did not program themselves. The biological order did not decide to exist. The fact that we replace wrong explanations with better ones does nothing to diminish the foundational question: why is there an ordered universe where explanations are even possible? Why is there logic, structure, stability, predictability? Tyson never answers that question because he cannot. Science describes the script, it cannot explain the playwright. Tyson insists he would believe in God if miracles followed a predictable pattern. If, for example, only Christians survived a plane crash. He reduces divine signs to demonstrations that would satisfy a statistics professor. But God does not elevate one community by letting them survive a crash. He elevates a community by giving them revelation, meaning, guidance, and purpose. His signs are not circus stunts, but moral invitations. The Quran says that even if God brought angels down in front of the unbelievers, they still would not believe. People who close their hearts do not need evidence, they need humility. Then Tyson appeals to spirituality as a modern substitute for religion. People who believe in something but refuse rules, guidance, or obligations. But this spirituality is nothing but religious consumerism, belief without responsibility, meaning without commandments, comfort without transformation. It is the final stage of modern arrogance. The human being dethrones God not by denying him, but by turning him into a vague feeling without authority. This is not spirituality, it is ego polished with glitter. Tyson repeatedly suggests that unanswered scientific questions, the origin of life, the before of the Big Bang, the nature of dark matter, are simply mysteries awaiting solution. But he fails to realize that even if science answers every mechanism, it will never explain existence itself. Science can describe the architecture of reality, but it cannot explain why reality exists rather than nothing. It can measure the behavior of particles, but it cannot explain why laws govern them. It can explain how chemicals assemble into life, but not why life carries intention, consciousness, and morality. And so the human being, created from a drop of despised fluid, walking on a world he did not design, breathing air he did not manufacture, protected by a magnetic field he did not create, warmed by a star he does not control, dares to ask, why should I believe in God? The question itself is a sign of forgetfulness of origin, forgetfulness of purpose, forgetfulness of destiny. Human beings forget that they are temporary. Their bodies decay, their memories fade, their ambitions collapse. All the pride they carry today will be dust tomorrow. The scientists who reject God will return to the same earth as the believers they mock. Their discoveries will be inherited by people who will not even remember their names. Their theories will be revised, corrected, or replaced. Their confidence will disappear the moment their hearts stop beating, and yet the God they denied will remain. The human being says, if God exists, why does he not show himself to me? But the truth is that God has shown himself through creation, through revelation, through reason, through morality, through the inner voice that whispers in every moment of silence. But the human being covers his heart with noise, distractions, pride, and arguments. God does not hide himself. Man hides himself from God. The day will come when every atheist will see with absolute clarity, not because science advanced, but because the veil has lifted. On that day, no podcast, no lecture, no academic title will protect them. Their tongue will testify against them. Their limbs will confess. Their soul will regret. They will realize that they use their intellect not to seek truth, but to escape surrender. The call then is not to debate endlessly, but to return, to repent, to humble oneself, to admit that the finite cannot define the infinite, that the creature cannot judge the creator, that the drop of liquid cannot legislate for the one who shaped the stars. God's mercy is vast, but his punishment is severe. The universe is not indifferent. It is a witness. Every atom is a sign. Every breath is a chance. Every heartbeat is a reminder. You were created. You belong to him, and to him you will return. Those who deny God out of pride will discover that pride is the most expensive illusion ever sold. Those who reject him because he does not fit inside their scientific framework will realize too late that God is not a hypothesis. He is the origin of existence. And those who mock faith today will cry for it tomorrow when truth becomes undeniable. Humanity must repent, not out of fear alone, but out of recognition. Recognition that God is real, the creator of time, the author of life, the master of all destinies. Recognition that the universe is not random, it is intentional. Recognition that arrogance is a fragile mask hiding a terrified heart. Recognition that the one who shaped the stars also shaped the soul and calls it back to him before the door closes forever.